Well, today we have got an incredible amount of information out there and updates on the thru hikers out there. We got thru hikers losing parts of their body and then getting back on trail. We've got, is it okay to aquablaze this early in your hike? And is it approved by the ATC? And we've got huge overcrowding on the trail, in particular on one day. And you're going to hear all about that. So let's go ahead and let's roll. So what's going on out there, the folks that are on trail? So we got Scott Free. He has left Franklin, North Carolina, and he is on his way for the next stop to be the Smokies. Dog Tag, he's hiking with Raz and Bloomer, and they say they are slow moving on trail, but enjoying every day, even with the cold and the snow, and they're still excited to be out there. They check in with this video.
Well, hello, Ramdino. This is Dog Tag on the AT. I'm at Dix Creek Gap, and it's day 13 for me, and I'm going in for a little bit of a Nero and then get some resupplies, and then we'll get back out on the trail. Just letting you know everybody's doing great and enjoying the trail. Thanks for all that you do. Be safe.
Mama Bear and Bear, they're doing great on the trail. They check in with their own video.
Hey Ramdino, Mama Bear here.
And Bear here.
And we're just coming by to say hi and to give you a quick update on how our hike's going. How do you think it's going so far?
Amazing. The weather's been perfect. It's a little mild during the day, which is okay, but other than that, no complaints.
Yeah, it's really wonderful. We should be getting out of Georgia. We're about a week into our hike, and so we should be getting out of Georgia tomorrow. We also wanted to remind everyone that we are hiking for healing in Appalachia. We have partnered with Samaritan's Purse, and I'll put the link right here on the screen. So if anybody would like to donate to the worthy cause of the devastated areas of Appalachia, we would be so grateful. Thank you all. Happy trails and love and light to you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Nutty Hikers and Suspenders, they are on their Bammer to Baxter hike and unfortunately had to leave the trail down on the Pinhoti. They only had something like 60 miles left to go, but apparently Suspenders had some kidney stones, and upon visiting the ER, they told him that he could pass it sounds like one, probably on his own, but rather than passing it as in one, he passed 16 kidney stones. I don't even see how there's enough room for anything else in your kidneys if you've got 16 stones in them. But, whoo, that is amazing. But anyway, they're getting back on trail. They're going to skip up to the Appalachian Trail, and then they'll come back and finish the Bama to Baxter after they summit up at Katahdin. Dave and Carrie and Bandit, they have made it to Franklin, North Carolina. So congratulations to them. They say trail conditions thus far have been good. Overall, there have been about a dozen or so blowdowns across the trail since they hit North Carolina, and that's kind of been a reoccurring theme amongst hikers, that when they hit North Carolina, there seems to be blowdowns that have not been cleared yet. But a lot of people have also heard these blowdowns, they say they're old blowdowns, so not sure why they haven't been cleared yet, particularly since we had maintainers out there doing the clearing work, from the storm. But in any case, they just hadn't gotten around to them yet. But they say they were easy to get around, and water is very plentiful out there. April and Uncle Bill, they have made it to North Carolina, and they sent in their video update.
Hey Ramdino, April and Uncle Bill here.
We made it to North Carolina.
We just crossed into North Carolina this morning. The weather's been great. Other than the 2 days of rain on the 15th and 16th and a little bit of snow later that week, we've had temperatures in the high 40s all the way up to 70. Hiking's been great. Georgia was great. North Carolina, a few little trees were in the trail, and they looked like old trees. It wasn't any new blowdowns, dead wood, and we're having a great time and heading further north, one state down.
Let's go.
So there's the update from southern North Carolina. Have a good one.
And then Tie-Dye, who is one of the trail maintainers with the Tennessee Eastman Club, he is on his trip, on his hike, and he has made it to North Carolina. So congratulations, Tie-Dye. Andy and Corey Sullivan, they are on trail now, and they have made it to the 100-mile mark. Congratulations, Anna and Corey, they say they love North Carolina, but they did say the wind and all the dead trees up there around Trey Mountain made it made it scary for them up there. We don't want a repeat of what happened last week to hiker on the trail. But the trails, they say, are in good shape and the water is running well. They said as far as trail conditions also, when they got as far as Neal Gap, they said the last place to get reliable water after Neal's Gap was Hogpen Gap. And they said they did wait till they got to Low Gap, which the stream was great there. So appreciate those kind of trail updates for people that are coming behind other people out there. Those are really very helpful. Trail. So we got Teresa. She's gotten started on the trail on the 27th. Jolly, he sends in his trail update for this week.
Hi, Ramdino. Jolly here. Doing good for the first week, I believe. Well, good for me anyway. Right now I'm slack packing from the Green Dragon Hostel from Dix Creek south to Unicoi Gap. That way there the reception's better and I can be picked up easy. Then tomorrow I'll take off from Dix Creek north. But so far, the shelters have been very good. I stayed outside at Gooch in a tent site. Weather was beautiful. Yesterday, a little bit snowy, but still managed to do some hiking and just enjoying the trail. And thank you again for all you've done and for all the trail maintainers. It's fantastic. The trail is in perfect shape. Have a great day.
And then Luscious, he is moving on up the trail. He has made it to Damascus and sends in this video update.
Hello, Ramdino from Lake Watauga. I'm out here paddling in a kayak, and it is a glorious day. As of today, the only impassable section of the AT, according to the ATC's website, is Wilbur Dam Road to Iron Mountain Shelter. And so thanks to Jim over at Boots Off Hostel, I'm aqua blazing around it today, which apparently is an ATC sanctioned method of avoiding the post-Helene destruction. So highly recommend, or just staying at Boots Off Hostel is wonderful. The folks over there, Lucky Moon and Jim and Grumpy, everybody's great. So I highly recommend this method of transportation just for a nice change of scenery out here on the AT.
So I was aware Boots Off Hostel had set up an aqua blaze. So they've set up this aqua blaze because originally Big Laurel Wilderness was closed for a while, and that was the only way to get around that without actually yellow blazing or taking a shuttle. And so the aqua blaze was across Watauga Lake with a canoe or kayak or whatever, and then they would come and pick that up on the other side, and that would get you supposedly in front of where all the damage was in through there. But now that section is, well, let's move on. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. But I was not aware, as Luscious has said there, that the ATC had approved that, and I've looked online after researching. I can't see anything where they've actually approved that as part of the route. So there's not to my knowledge, and nothing my research says, it's not a reroute. It's not an approved detour. We're going to talk about some detours here in just a minute, but I didn't see that anywhere. Matter of fact, the ATC has that section as being open through there. Luscious says he did respect the one remaining closure between Indian Grave Gap and Hughes Gap, so he said he shuttled around that, and he definitely did not want to get fined by disobeying U.S. Forest Service closures. So, I'm okay with that. All of it's hikeable. I would never tell you to go through a closed section. So, that being said, hike your own hike, right? Straps OG in Boston, they check in from Jacob's Ladder.
Hey, Ramdino. That's Straps, Boston, and OG. We just climbed Jacob's Ladder. That's why we're all out of breath. We're heading for the Fontana Hilton tonight and entering the Smokies tomorrow. Heading north. Thank you.
So if you folks who don't know, Jacob's Ladder is down in North Carolina right before you come into Fontana, and it is this hill that is a huge, sharp up. going in. So, and there's no steps, there's no switchbacks or anything. So it is tough going up that, and then people call that Jacob's Ladder. Gennady Bacon, she checked in early this week from Fontana. She's going to be skipping around the Smokies up to Hot Springs, and so she should be there now. She's going to come back. She was concerned that her mileage is not long enough during the day to where she could stretch it out and get in between the shelters. So she indicated the shelters were like 10 miles apart, and she was not going to be able to make that. So hopefully she'll get her trail legs about her, and then she will be able to come back and do that at a different time.
Hey, Ramdino, Canadian Bacon here. Just about 8 miles away from Fontana Dam, and I'm a turtle. I'm moving like a turtle. But we're raising some money for the kids, the children's hospitals, so it's all good. Thanks for checking in.
Jeff and Mary, they check in on their flip-flop. Rabbit, he is doing well out there. He checks in this week and sends in this video.
Hey, Ramdino, this is Rabbit, and I'm headed to Stanimals. This is day 5 on trail, and I haven't got a single drop of rain. So it's been the most perfect 5 days you could ask for. It's supposed to maybe have a small % chance of rain today, but trail conditions have been great. The people have been great, and I ran into your buddy, Sir Stops-A-Lot, and he hooked us up with some trail magic at Indian Grave Gap. So thanks for everything you do. I'll check in up trail.
And he also sent in later, said he will be making to Franklin today. And then Papa checks in with his video.
Hey, Ramdino, this is Papa from Papa Hikes. I'm on day 10. We've had 4 extremely cold nights here, going over Tree Mountain, hitting the 100-mile mark on Mount Albert. Oops. And today we're heading into Franklin for a well-deserved moment to warm up. I'm hiker number 103. This is Papa. I'm on Papa Hikes if anybody is interested in following my journey. Mostly about the people I meet and a little bit about the terrain. Have a great day. And Ramdino, thanks for all you do.
And he should probably be in the Smokies by now. Love seeing the thru hikers out there having a great time, even though they're on a difficult trail and it's going to be difficult going through the devastation zone for them. You know, probably one of the most difficult parts will not be the hike, but ending their hike, whether they finish or whether they just have to get off trail for whatever reason. Getting off trail means coming back to the real world, coming back to this fast-paced world of crowds and having to deal with a lot of different people around you all at one time. As hikers, we get out on the trail because that's our happy place. We go out there to escape, and it can be very difficult coming back to the real world. For some, that burden can simply be too much. Well, my sponsor today can help you with a better way, and that's BetterHelp. BetterHelp's going to provide you with a questionnaire that is going to pair you up with one of their well-qualified therapists that is going to be a great match for you. And if it's not a great match for some reason or you just are not clicking, then don't worry, you can change at any time, and their customer service is always there to help you do that. With a 4.5 rating from over 7,000 reviews on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform you can trust. And just as getting on trail by yourself or knowing all the trials and tribulations and the being in the wilderness by yourself is something that's courageous, so is asking for help from a therapist. Click on the link down below in the description section or go to betterhelp.com/Ramdino and you'll get 10% off your first month of therapy. There's a better way with BetterHelp. Now, let's go over and see what's going on with the rest of the hikers that are coming up. So we got a bunch of intros of folks coming in. We've also got Silas and Andy. They're going to be starting this coming week, and they sent in their intro video.
Hello, Ramdino. We want to at first say thank you so much for all that you do in sharing information to all the hikers and just bring people together. So we want to say thank you a whole lot. Mm-hmm. And we want to announce that my name's Silas.
I'm Andy.
And we're both going to be attempting to thru hike the AT this year. We're going to start, the plan is March 3rd, and we're going to go northbound.
Mm-hmm. And so we'll be documenting our trip, and you can follow us along on our YouTube channel at The White Family. But we'll also be sending you some updates along the way. But thank you again for all you do to help the hiker community.
Thank you so much.
Love to see those father-son and mother-daughter, and we've got a couple of those this year, and love to see the father-daughter and the mother-son. Love to see those family getting out there on the trail. That to me is that is awesome. So looking forward to Silas and Andy's trip as they can get ready to get on trail. And then we got Princess Peach. She sends in her intro video.
Hey Ramdino, Princess Peach here, another Virginia Beach girl about to hit the trail. I'm starting my NOBO thru hike this Monday, March 3rd from Amicalola Falls and headed to Catawba. My husband's joining me for the first week and for periodic resupplies, but otherwise I'll be a solo adventurer. After breaking my leg on my SOBO hike in 2022, this 2025 hike is all about redemption, freedom, and fun. You can follow our adventure on YouTube at Cham on the Trail 430. Happy trails.
And we got Marcus, our first international hiker out there. He sends in his video from across the pond.
Hi there, Ramdino. This is Marcus. I have no trail name yet, but I hope I will find one soon. I grew up in Germany. I lived in Ireland for the last 3 years. And I am planning a thru hike attempt of the Appalachian Trail on the 7th of March. So 7th of March is the day I'm gonna head on the approach trail, hoping to meet many exciting people. Also, I'm gonna be a blogger on the track, an official AT thru hike track blogger, because I like writing and reading. So if you're interested in that, have a look on that. And so far, happy hiking and greetings from Dublin.
The one thing that was really cool about Marcus was he says that I was like his uncle that enjoyed hiking. And so he looked to this channel to prepare him mentally for the trail out there. And I thought that was really neat. I mean, it's not, I'm just a figurehead here. It's all of our channel. And you guys make up the channel just as much as I do. And so that was really neat to see what he got out of that. He said, "You're like my uncle who loves hiking that I never had. It helped me a lot in the last couple weeks for my personal mental preparation." So that is awesome, that different people can come together from different countries, from different cultures, and we don't always agree about everything, but the really neat thing is that we're still part of this hiker community, and hopefully while we can agree to disagree about those things that we're different in, we can show mutual respect for each other. And for the most part, we do, by and large. I get a few folks in here that get riled up about some things that are third rail. But most of the time we show that respect for each other. And I think that's important because we're just like a big happy family here whenever we get together. And we should be like a big happy family when we're not together, right? All right, let's keep moving on. Enough of the soapbox. Tim Estep, he is getting ready to start, and he sends in his video.
Hey, Randino. My name's Tim Estep. I'll go by the trail name Chaplain on the AT. I plan to be on the trail around March the 10th, and we will see how far we can go. I tell folks I'll be home in 2 weeks if I can't do it. I'll be home in 1 month if I don't like it no more, or 6 months when I finish. We'll see you on the trail.
And then last but not least, Jordan Quinn gets on the trail and here shortly and sends in the video.
Hi, my name is Jordan Quinn. I'm 19 years old and I'm going to hike the AT this year. I'll be doing this because it's hard and it's because it's something I've really wanted to do for a really long time. If this sounds interesting to you, you can check out my YouTube channel at Spurg on the Trail.
So we got a ton of people like we did last week that are from the support list that are starting. So I'm going to run through those really fast, but we'll talk about the support list here in just a second. But we got Rhonda Himes, we got Scoutmaster, and this is Scoutmaster's second time on the trail through hiking. So he successfully through hiked, I don't know, it's been years ago. But anyway, like 4 or 5, something like that. But he's a good one to watch. So we got Scoutmaster, Plan 9, Princess Doa, Freebird, Grubworm, Andy White, Anita Parks, Jen, Keith Messinger, Big Sky, Jen D, Data, Moose, Harry Gould, Builder, Jess Me, Papa Dude, Scrooge, Seeker, Katie, Valley Bordeaux, I probably messed that up, Yoda, George Creasy, Pixie, Sunrise, KG4TAH. I think that is a ham radio call sign, Kilo Golf 4 Tango Alpha Hotel. We're going to have to get Tony a new trail name. Bill Lahee, Sidetrack. And those are the folks that we have got that are starting from our support list. So that's a huge amount of folks that are starting coming up over the next week. And we're going to talk even further about what went on down at the southern terminus at Amicalola Falls State Park here in just a minute. But folks, if you're not on the support list, we've got over 220 folks that are on the support list. If you're not on it, the way to put that yourself on it is to go down to the form link down below, fill that out. It'll populate you onto the link. And even if you don't have social media, put yourself on that so that possibly you're going to be checking in with me. You may need my Trail Angel list, which is only available. It's emergency Trail Angel list, which is only available to people that are either on my list or have registered with the ATC. So that's another reason to be on that list. But also, so the hiking community can go and find your social media. And so that will be on that link. And you folks with the hiker community that are not hiking, you can go down below and you can find that link to that list down below. So we got a lot of people that are starting, a lot of people checking in. We got a lot of people, obviously, that have checked in this week. And I may have to go to a bi-weekly till it settles down a little bit later in the season. And some of these people wind up getting off trail, or it always kind of peters out. People stop updating us as much. So, to keep these videos from being so long, I may have to go to bi-weekly. Leave a comment down below if that's something you're interested in, or you just rather see a longer video here on Sunday like I do every week. And you folks that are out there that are sending in updates, it's always good to get a selfie or even a 30-second video of how things are going with you and your family, or just you if you're not hiking with anybody, and the trail conditions behind you. So appreciate those folks that have done that this week and look forward to getting more. So registrations. Well, here is something that I don't know that I've seen before in the past year since I've been doing this, and that's 7 years. Incredibly, we're maxed out for 4 days, but that's not what's incredible. On March 1st, we had a Congo line of 108 hikers that got on trail on March 1st, according to registrations of the ATC. That is a phenomenal amount of people. That's over 2 times the maxed out number that the ATC sets up as the maximum carrying capacity of 50 of the trail. So it's going to be a real you-know-what show up around Hawk Mountain Shelter and other places just short of there. Hawk Mountain is kind of a popular place for people to get to because it's like 12 miles in from Springer. And, of course, there's Hawk Mountain campground or campsites that are right before Hawk Mountain, and then there are campsites around Hawk Mountain Shelter Site. But still, that is an incredible amount of people being on the trail starting off on one day. So let's look at the registrations that we've had since last week. We had 179 more SOBO that registered. So right now we're up to 2,107. We had 6 more flip-floppers, which brings us to 150, and 6 more SOBO, which brings us to 78. So we've gone up 191 hikers from last week to 2,335 hikers that are registered. We have had some fluctuations in our charts. Our chart was a steady decline all the way down, but we've kind of got where it did take a dip, not a dip, but a jump up. And I think that is because this time of year is when we have ATCO, or it used to be called ATCO, Appalachian Trail Kickoff at Amicalola Falls State Park. Now it's called AT Gateways. And so basically that's going on this weekend. And basically what that is it's just the hiker community getting together down there at Amicalola Falls State Park, and have vendors and just people getting together, hanging out. But it is a huge day for people to start. And so obviously with 103 people starting on March 1st, which was Saturday yesterday. So that is a lot of folks that are starting on one day, and I attribute that to, and the jump up to it being to the Appalachian or the AT gateways that's going on down there. So we'll see if that trend continues, but that'll be very interesting. So some trail news we got out there. Mr. Freeze, he thru hiked in the AT in 2021, and he said that he did a SOBO section from Damascus to Boots Off. So that is Damascus to coming into Hampton around Watauga Lake, and that is through the Big Laurel Wilderness. And that is an area that has not been cleared with chainsaws. So they are clearing that section with crosscut saws and manual loppers and stuff. So in the wilderness area, you're not supposed to use mechanized stuff. I have heard from other trail maintainer clubs that if it's not done by April 1, that they are going to go ahead and let them get in there with mechanized chainsaws and start getting that punched through. So right now it is open, but it is a very difficult section to get through. Appreciate Mr. Freeze going out there and checking that out. He's from Ohio, so he actually came down to do some trail work and to assess the blowdown situation. So he said this section was cleared by the National Forest Service to the border of the Big Laurel Wilderness area, and that's going SOBO from Damascus. And then he said the wilderness section has not been fully punched through. He says it is still difficult. There are lots of blowdowns. He counted over 40 and stopped counting 40 in one section there. He did say it is totally clear from Boots Off to Vanderventer Shelter, which is the first shelter after Watauga Lake. He said the next 3 miles north had greater than 40 blowdowns, and then he said the next 2 miles after that, from mile 442.9, included 2 extremely difficult blowdown fields that require bushwhacking down the steep ridge and through thick briars to get around. He said it still requires climbing over, even the bushwhacking requires climbing over multiple down trees, going down the ridge. So he indicated you really need to have long pants going through this section. But he did say the last serious blowdown heading north was at 442.9. Said sawyers with chainsaws had cleared from 442 to the power lines, and after that there were 15 to 20 easy to navigate blowdowns from the power lines to Damascus. So we still got trees coming down. Those had all been cleared at one time, but we still got trees coming down out there, as we saw last week in the video. So my conclusion of that is that the thru hikers, they can navigate that 5-mile blowdown field, but expect to add 2 to 3 hours to your hike, plus expend a lot more energy. So you got to plan accordingly through there. Did say he ran across a crew of National Forest Service workers there that were using the manual saws, and there is a organization called SAWS, which is the Southern Appalachian Wilderness group that's through there, and they're the ones that just use the manual stuff. So it's going to be a little bit before it gets cleared, and there's going to be more folks going through there, but it is open according to the ATC, and it is passable according to what Mr. Freeze said, and some SOBOs that have come through and given us support. So as I mentioned before, AT Gateway is going on this weekend. Normally, I can tell you exactly the number of people that stepped off by the bag tag numbers, and I usually call down at Amicalola Falls State Park to get that information. But now, after February 15th, the Appalachian Trail Club takes that over, and they keep the iPads and stuff with them. And so I no longer have somebody that I can call to get those numbers for you. I'm sure it's over 400 folks right now, but if somebody from the Appalachian Trail Club, and there are folks there that monitor the channel or that watch the channel, if you can send me or just leave a comment down below how many folks have stepped off as of this weekend, that would be very helpful out there for us. Have a viewer who they and their family want to start a hiker hostel, and so they are asking for some advice out there from the hiker community about where they should do that. They know that down in the South there's a lot of hiker hostels down here, so they're actually live in Franklin, North Carolina, but there's plenty of hostels in the area. They don't want to take away from them. They want to go somewhere where they're actually of good use servicing the hiker community, and so they want to go somewhere where there's a hostel desert, where there's not many hostels, and that would be my opinion is that would be somewhere up north. So not exactly sure where that is, because I haven't done everything above Pennsylvania. Only above Pennsylvania I've done Vermont and Massachusetts. So they're looking for advice from the hiker community. So leave a comment down below where would be a good place in up north for them to do a hiker hostel that is in an area where there's not any hostels or not many hostels up there. So they want to really have a maximum impact on helping out the community. We also have a fire warning that's out there for part of Georgia and North Carolina. Those fire warnings, they do fluctuate based upon the humidity levels, but it is very dry here. Haven't had rain now in probably a week or two, so it's getting dry. Humidity levels were back up this morning, but just right now, it's not a good idea to have any open campfires anywhere in Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, or Southern Virginia. But the AT does remain open, so just keep that in mind, though, as you're out there. There is some fires going on in different places on the trail, particularly in Georgia, so you may smell smoke down there when you first get started. I know there's a forest fire around Camp Merrill, which is the Army base down there where they train Rangers down at the trail, and that's why sometimes you actually see them training out near the trail, or you may see a water buffalo out there. Water buffalo is actually a water tank where that they use to replenish their water supply. So just be cognizant of that, and let's make sure we're not the ones out there that are starting any type of fires. So back to Luscious and the aqua blazing. So I was not able to find anywhere on the ATC where that's an approved detour. So, and then we've also got down at Irwin where the Chestoa Bridge was washed out. There is an approved detour. As a matter of fact, the detour around on that very dangerous road that the ATC has set up as the reroute, and that's going to be, according to them, that's going to be in place for until the bridge is rebuilt. And while the money has been appropriated for that, that's probably going to take a couple years to do that. Or at least it won't be done this season and maybe part of next season. But anyway, that is part of the official reroute. So that begs the question then, since the trail is open going through Big Laurel Wilderness, is that aqua blaze? And it's nowhere approved. If you choose to aqua blaze that rather than go through the 40, 50, 60 trees, that effort that's blown down through there, and which is also dangerous, will the ATC still recognize your through hike? And if you decide to shuttle around the Irwin, instead of doing the road walk, and you decide to shuttle around that, will they still recognize your through hike? I know that folks that have walked through closed areas before, they would not recognize their through hike. I received some information from somebody that they kind of wrote him kind of a nastygram about that, kind of a finger wag when he put in for his 2,000 miler certification. And not everybody needs a piece of paper. Not everybody wants a piece of paper, but if you do, that's fine. If that's something you need as part of your bucket list or something, but that's one thing that I don't have the answer for you, that I've asked the ATC, and hopefully they'll get back to me. But if you know out there, and I know the ATC monitors this channel, so somebody there could leave a comment down below. Will the ATC, if you decide not to take the dangerous road walk that is the official route and shuttle around it, will they still recognize you for riding it rather than walking it? And then if you decide to take the aqua blaze, will they still recognize you there on the Watauga Lake since the trail is open there? Don't have the answers to that right now, but hopefully I will be able to get those answers for you eventually. And then, of course, the trail maintainers, they have now, since they've punched through everything with the exception of Big Laurel, which are waiting on April to get here to where they can get started back out there on that, and the 0.7 around Iron Mountain Gap, which they're waiting on the possibility that the National Forest Service may do a salvage harvest in there. They are now, since they punched through all that, they're now concentrating efforts on fixing the trail, particularly things like root balls. And it's amazing how they can take a 6-foot deep hole and go from something that is possibly turn an ankle, break a leg, or something like that, to something that now more closely resembles the trail in there. So that's just a testimony to all their hard work that they do out there, and just how skilled they are at doing that. And I got to participate with them one day, and I can tell you they are very skilled at what they do out there on the trail about turning, let's just say, chicken poop into chicken salad. And then thanks for everybody that voted for my channel on the Outdoor Media Summit where we got nominated. I say we, because this is your channel as much as this is mine, where we got nominated for the Outdoor YouTube channel for 2024. We didn't hear the gunfire, didn't have enough people voting for us, but thanks a lot for those people that went out there and did. And then don't forget, I have a calendar link, and that link's down below, and that's just a place you can go if you need to go online with me for an hour or 50 minutes, and you got a lot of questions that you need answered. That's a way that you can do that. And that's another way that you can support this channel. You can also go and subscribe and give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, or share the channel. All those ways to support the channel. Of course, I have a Patreon membership. Thank you for my members out there that do that. And the folks that give me super thanks occasionally, thank you for those as well. A lot of fun stuff going on, a lot of great stuff going on with the trail right now, and it's going to be a good season. Even despite all the things that are going on out there in the world right now, this is going to be a great season. I'm looking forward to the hikers out there. And that's all I got this week. As always, appreciate you, and we'll see you out there.